All right, gang, here we go. Good to have you along. Sorry for being late. This is vacation week for me. But we are home, and so I've been monitoring this severe weather situation. Been trying to work up on my live setup a little bit. I got these clunky headphones on because I've got alerts. But we got a new tornado warning that was just issued. So we're going to get to that here now. All right. This is in Tipton County. And if you are in chat, I am also streaming on YouTube. And you're going to hear a lot of alerts. It's part of the using a different radar system that alerts, but it also is doing it for all over the country. So we might be getting some that are in Ohio, which has been getting hit kind of hard here, and then obviously here in Indiana. But the lone tornado warning we have currently is here in Tipton County. This was spawned by, and if you are in chat, give me a like, let me know where you're watching from. So the tornado warning right now was spawned because of a spotter report. So the spotter report was near Kempton. So that would be just west of US 31. Now Kempton is in the clear, but right now Tipton needs to be in their safe spot immediately, right now. This is riding right along State Road 28. And is moving east at about 55 miles per hour. So next down the line is Elwood, Frankton, Alexandria, or Ellick, Summitville are all in line with this tornado warning. For those of you that like to watch on TV, I am streaming on my YouTube channel as well. It's been a while since I've done that, but those of you that don't want to tie up your iPad or your computer or phone, I am doing that as well. It's just look for Marcus Bailey on YouTube, and we are located there. Making sure we're up and running. All right, so the lone tornado warning that we have here in Indiana is, and I am all, let me switch my radar site. My apologies. This will take a second to load. So this is a little bit more messy, but it is coming off the Indianapolis radar. I'm going to turn the lightning off. There we go. Pretty messy radar here. All right, I see all of you guys. Thank you. Appreciate all the likes and the shares. Thanks for checking in. So we've got this. So what's essentially happening here? Let me go back to radar, and I'm going to zoom out just so you guys can get a kind of better organized look. Let me go over to the other radar. So this is where you've been hearing all the alerts from. So this is kind of the big picture. What's essentially happening, all right, is we mentioned that there's a cold front coming through, and you're getting what's called an outflow boundary, and it's kind of just setting up right there, okay? Now, most of the storms that are, say, right here, here, are not going to rotate, okay? It's the ones that are close to this outflow boundary line. That's where we're worried about the possibility of rotation. Okay. I don't think we're going to see a ton here coming up. But I do think that, one or two of these storms could make it to be severe as we go through the next couple of hours. We have this tornado warning, or severe thunderstorm watch. Severe thunderstorm watch until midnight as this line of storm starts to kind of move on through. And that's the area in pink there. The yellow that you see that's in Ohio is tornado watches. Okay, so you cross over the state line, it's a tornado watch. Yes, a lot of you are reporting it's windy. That is just normal gradient wind. Very similar to what we experience. You think about, I mean, it's not as extreme, but you think about those high wind warnings that we had a couple of weekends ago. Excuse me. You were going from one extreme to the other in terms of temperatures. We are doing the same thing. Okay? Looks like there's a new warning out. Not seeing its location right now. So, okay. I think that's just an update to the tornado warning. Let me check with chat real quick. So, just looking at some of the pictures right now, there is definitely, so there was some picture, I can't share these unfortunately with you right now. But there's definitely kind of a lowering and a wall crowd that I'm seeing, and this is taken in Windfall. So Windfall is in that Tipton County area, right? It's not showing up on this radar. Let me go back to the high-res radar here. Marion, you need to keep a heads up. Brian, there are some pretty good storms that, you know what, here, let me do something here so I don't have to keep turning away from my microphone. There. You think I would have had this set up already. You can tell I'm definitely in vacation mode. All right. So anyway, Mary needs to be on alert. You're not in a warning right now. The actual rotation that we've been monitoring is southwest of you and not heading in your direction. You're probably in the clear, but I wouldn't, just keep an eye on it. We'll hang with you here. So here's what we have. All right, I know I kind of jumped in here in the middle of this event, and I apologize. I wasn't initially going to jump on, and then I had some time free up. So here's what we have right now. We've got several severe thunderstorm warnings and then one tornado warning. That tornado warning includes Tipton County and Madison County. Okay? Tipton County, Madison County. The severe thunderstorm warnings then are including northwestern Delaware. So Gaston, you're included. Much of Madison. It's this orange box that I'm kind of tracing around with my mouse here. Hamilton County. That stretches back into Boone. And also parts of Tipton. All right. Then you go into Boone County. You're under a separate warning. There's also another warning for central and southwestern Boone, and that stretches in Montgomery. Montgomery, that should probably be canceled. All right. Justin, you are probably just north of the area of rotation, but it's a close call, so keep a careful eye on it in Lapel. Trying to keep up with all these alerts. I know you're hearing that buzz, so that is, each one of those buzzes are new warnings that are issued. So Brian, it is a relatively fast moving system in terms of the severe weather risk. I think we're probably only going to be doing this for a couple of hours. However, there'll be more rain overnight. And so some rumbles of thunder overnight, likely. Widespread rain, likely. It may wake you up overnight, but I can tell you when we get past midnight, we're done with severe weather. Okay? Feel pretty confident in that. So currently, one tornado warning. There are actually 14 severe thunderstorm warnings across the United States right now, most of which are in Indiana. But you can see there are several watches and warnings that are in Ohio right now. But we're getting a lot of action currently in central Indiana. And again, the main focus right now is going to be this tornado warned storm. Not seeing a debris signature there. Oh, there's Windfall. I know it's not Windfall City, but Windfall. Brian, I hear you. I actually had to have so Brian, just to answer your question about the winds and your roof. So a lot of that was the high winds, and I'm assuming you're talking about the 2 days of high winds that we had. This one is not like this. It's not going to stay super windy for long. I know it's very gusty out there right now. But I don't think you're going to be dealing with that. I actually had to have a professional come up, check out my roof. I had a couple of shingles that I noticed that were pulled off my roof as well. So I feel you on that one. I really don't need any more. So yeah. Watcher warning for Madison County. Depends where you're at, Melissa. There is a tornado warning for Madison County. If you're in Anderson, you are not included. If you are in Frankton, Ellick, Linwood, you are included in that. Okay? So it does include kind of, State Road 28 kind of rides right down the middle of it. Okay? Brian, I'm sorry to hear that. That is not fun. I lucked out. I think only found 3, and the roofer professional confirmed with that, but I got lucky because we feel that we live in kind of a wind tunnel where we live. So Winchester, not included in a warning right now, Christina. Same thing with Randolph County, all of Randolph County. Melissa, I won't call you in the clear. I do think it's going to get quite windy, but you are north of the tornado warning. You are not included in the tornado warning, okay? Looks like we do have another update. See the flash there. That is quite an interesting polygon. So that is a new severe thunderstorm warning. This will be for... let's go ahead and just check this one out here. They did put a tornado possible tag on this. 60 mile per hour winds and 1 inch diameter sized hail. So this is kind of the low end threshold. So this would be including Grant County and Blackford County until 8 o'clock. That's the new severe thunderstorm warning. Okay. I think we do have an update here to this tornado warning. This is still going for 12 minutes. Elwood, Ellick, Tipton. Now, Tipton, Windfall have been cleared. Frankton, Summitville, all included until 7:45. This is radar indicated, even though we did have some reports from the Weather Service. We just had a report of 80 mile per hour winds in Elwood. Okay. So they're right now through the heart of the storm. Let's go back to the high resolution radar here. So we had dime-sized hail. That's that report right there that you're seeing in Elwood. And now we're getting reports of up to, it's not really showing up well, but 80 mile per hour winds in Elwood. So if you live around, and it is unconfirmed, but that is coming from the Madison County EMA. Looks like the hail core might be getting a little bit bigger on that Elwood storm as well. Stand by. I'm going to check on the updates here for the warnings. Not seeing anything new. Okay. So that looks like a pretty decent hail core there. This product's going to be a little bit lagging. But obviously, when you're seeing kind of this light pink and now the black, that's pretty high reflectivity. And so that tells us that it's more than just rain that's going on in there. And so there's likely a pretty good hail core, and there might be some hail that's growing in size with that one, okay? Yeah, zoom in on Marion. Let me zoom out. So Marion's actually, you're not too bad, Brian. It is going to be quite windy, but the intensity of storms probably looks to be a little bit stronger to your south, okay? My channel right now, I don't think I have legal rights to broadcast the Purdue game. But if I could, I don't even want to ask if that's what's going on right now. Winds are out of the south and west, Chris, and then they're going to quickly go to the north and west. So you better be able to make adjustments. Yeah, Brian, I 100% hear you. I mean, the gradient wind is what you're going to have to worry about, what you're dealing with now, and basically until the front passes. I don't see signs that there are severe gusts with this particular storm. Okay? I think the strongest wind gusts with this storm are south of you. Okay? Right where you're kind of seeing it bow out. Excuse me. So I know it's still not an ideal situation for you, Brian, because obviously you still got, I mean, I hear the winds blowing out here, but the severe storm winds, hopefully not too bad. Yeah, Michael, I think, and that's, you know, there's just not, there was a very brief amount of time that there was some, and there's still some rotation. Right there. Okay. This isn't really well defined. I wouldn't probably say that this is putting something on the ground, although I don't want to, you know, run the risk of saying that it won't. If it's rotating, that means it could spin up something at any point. So I saw somebody ask about Muncie. Muncie, you're not included. However, this is taking a direct line. Basically, Frankton is basically along State Road 332, right? That is 332. That's McGalliard on the north end of Muncie. That rotation is basically following that. So I'm not hitting the panic button in Muncie yet. If you live around 332, but I want you to pay attention, okay? Okay. We'll see if this tornado warning continues. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for Jay County. I'm going to go to that real quick, and then we'll go back to this tornado warning storm. So this is in Jay County. So should miss Pennville, although you are included in the polygon. Bryant, this is getting ready to cross State Road 18. Looks like a pretty good hail threat here. Ping pong ball size hail. So this is, and then winds are up to 60 miles per hour. So again, moving south and east. And Portland would be in line with this as well. Okay? Seeing if we can get an update. Yes, Mom, I'm glad you're in the chat. I'm glad you heard what I had to say. I was actually just getting ready to text you. I don't think you have anything to worry about yet, but... Claudia, you're going to get, I mean, you're on the northern edge. I think it's more of a damaging wind threat for you guys up in Blackford County. Any rotation is going to be south, okay? And we may be even losing some of that rotation. So, but Hartford City's probably going to get in on this within the next 20 minutes or so. So I'm watching for you, Claudia, what's going on in Fairmount and South of Marion. That's going to be heading your way. All right. So, Michael, once this line of severe storms is done, the severe weather threat is over. We'll probably have a couple of hours for that. And then it's garden variety showers and storms. But I think it could be pretty heavy rain. Okay? So bear that in mind. But nothing crazy in terms of severe weather after midnight. Okay? All right, let's stick with this tornado warning. I know we got a lot going on. There's still very, very weak rotation. You see where I'm circling here? I wish I had a little telestrator on here, but I don't. It's one of those things I need to get. I need to make a note of that. So it's basically riding right along and just south of State Road 332 in Madison County. Getting ready to cross over State Road 9. Okay, there's Ellick. And State Road 9 goes all the way down into Anderson. Again, this is extremely, extremely weak, but it is rotating. Okay? It is rotating. Check in on some of these new warnings. I need to turn. All right. So we haven't had an update. They may be just allowing for the warning to expire. It's got 2 more minutes. Brian, yes, I have been on vacation since last Thursday. I will be back on TV on Monday. Kiddos are on spring break. We didn't really do much. And it's been wonderful. Let's see. And I appreciate you watching. All right. Austin, I see you in Jay County. You do have a severe thunderstorm warning. Bryant right now is getting the brunt of hail, up to ping pong ball size hail. Check in on that rotation again. I'm just not, I'll step it back a little bit. I'm just not seeing it as pronounced. It looks like it's kind of fizzling. It's actually trying to it's sagging down to the south a little bit. There's 332. And the area that I've been kind of watching here is down just east of Linwood. It's already crossed State Road 9. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. Okay, so updates and those warnings that you just heard are in Ohio. They have allowed for that tornado warning to expire. So the tornado warning no longer in effect. However, all of Delaware County, so that's Yorktown, that's Muncie, that's Gaston, that's Eaton, that's Albany, Selma, you are all now included in a severe thunderstorm warning. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Marion County, most of Hamilton County, especially the heavily populated parts of the county, Westfield, Noblesville, Fishers, Carmel. Boone County includes Whitestown and Zionsville. And then, like I said, the northern half of Marion County. So this is going to include Castleton, Nora, Traders Point, Lawrence, Broad Ripple, Meridian Hills area. It goes just north of I-65 on the west side, okay? Tamia, I am concerned with kind of this area here. I know this doesn't look super impressive, but there's some pretty good winds. Bluffton is fine. Starting to get colder up in Bluffton, but nothing crazy in Bluffton right now. Let me switch over. We do have, again, several warnings. These are all highlighted. I did want to highlight a couple of things, though. Frankfort had a 60-mile-per-hour wind. That was from an actual reporting station. A couple of other things that we've had. Emergency manager in Cass County. This is near Dunkirk. Tree down near Cliff Drive. Then east of Logansport. Another tree down. So those are the two damage reports. If you go up in the far northern parts of the state, large tree down near State Road 17. And then a lot of hail reports that we've received here. So that was 1.75. So that's getting the ping pong's ball sized hail there. Okay. Olivia, I'm not overly concerned with tornadoes right now. There were some signs of rotation initially, but I'm just not seeing that right now. Okay? So I'm concerned in Delaware County for large hail and damaging winds. Okay? Let me go back to this radar. So this looks like a pretty good hail core here. And this is definitely riding along 332. So that's McGalliard. Wait, do I have that right? Yes. Yes, that's McGalliard. Okay, 332. So watch this hail core here. There's probably at least quarter-sized hail in there. Now, that recent scan kind of brought it down a little bit, but these like lighter pinks, and then you see like the gray in there, that's a little concerning to me. I just had somebody in, I believe, Spanish from Puerto Rico. He's on my YouTube channel. And I apologize. Not fluent. It's been a while since I've had Spanish, but I'll try to get my little translator thing out, see if I can help this guy. I think he's just watching on the YouTubes. All right, so let's refresh. I do want to look. I can't show you guys this one. I'll need to get this one set up too. So winds are going to be the big concern coming into Indianapolis. Okay. Winds are going to be the big concern coming into Indy. I should back out a little bit just so I can make sure we've got all the warnings in the state right now. It is warm in my house, but I'm not turning the air on because I know what's happening tonight. I'm going to turn the LSRs off. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 severe thunderstorm warnings in the state. Okay, this one for hail. This one for wind, that's Hamilton County. And then I'm also concerned with Marion County, even though you're not going to get the heavy rain probably. But right along here, you're still going to get some pretty good winds up to potentially 70 mile per hour. Okay. I think that's on the extreme end, but I definitely think 50, maybe 60 possible. Okay. And then we have this, which also could produce 70 mile per hour winds and quarter size hail, maybe bigger. Same thing for the Blackford County storm. That one's going to be closer to 60 mile per hour winds. And then that is a, ooh, doggy. That is a big old hail core right there. Now, this is the Ohio line, so this is getting ready to move out of our state. Looks like it's going to miss Portland. Thank you. This is in very rural parts of Jay County. Just crossed over State Road 67. So trying to think. Bryant, you're kind of getting out. I know there's a Catholic church, right? Like over here. Okay. Because then you cross over into Ohio. And it turns into State Road 29, and that takes you all the way into Salina. Lake St. Mary's is over there. Over here in this area. So, pretty rural out there. I do know I don't remember the name of it, but I've been once to there's a Catholic church right around State Road 67 there. Real close to the Ohio line. So that one's almost out of the state. Your weather sirens should not be going off in Marion, Ryan. You are under 0 warnings right now. You still have the watch, but there are no active warnings for Grant County. Not seeing where the new alerts are coming from. Oh, that's for Ohio? All right, and then we do have a new addition to this warning here. It'll show up here shortly. There it is. So new severe thunderstorm warning now for Montgomery and Boone. I know a lot of you are asking south of I-70. It's just not happening right now. I do think that we're going to get some storms coming in here. Let me, just because I'm not ignoring you guys. And I am one that lives south of I-70, so I don't want you to think that I'm ignoring you. Hang on a second. See if I can... There we go. Okay. So I'm going to show you briefly the high resolution model. Okay. Let me zoom in. You guys hopefully can see that okay. All right. So I'm just going to step it through hour by hour. I need to do this run. Okay. So this is at 9 o'clock. Well, let's back it up. So 8 o'clock, it's close. 9, 10. I do think that some of these guys right here still could be severe. Okay? These might. We'll have to watch. This is at 11 p.m., midnight. And here at this point, guys, I think the severe weather threat is done. That's when south of I-70, we might start getting some rain and storms. And as I was mentioning, I think this is going to be pretty heavy. I'm worried about some standing water in areas that are prone to flooding. This is through 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., and then finally out of the metro by 7. Okay? So hopefully, hopefully that answered your questions. I'm not super concerned. There's a reason why the watch was not issued for areas south of I-70. Okay? All right. Stand by. I will... And again, I appreciate everybody on here. Likes, shares, comments are awesome. You guys are awesome. It means a lot. Stand by just momentarily because not everybody watches the live stream. So I am doing the good old-fashioned updates by text. Alrighty. All right, so a lot of the sounds that you're likely hearing are from... Let's do this. Those are new warnings that are actually in Ohio currently. It is a tad bit toasty in here. Those of you that turned on your air conditioning, props to you. I think I broke my oldest daughter's heart because she wanted it on. And I pulled the dad card and said, why am I going to do that if it's just going to kick the furnace on later tonight? All right, stand by. I'm just going to update this real quick for those that are not watching the live stream. Place 4 areas north of I-70. Okay. So real quick, it's 8 o'clock. Just kind of a refresh here. We're giving you the big picture. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit, just so you guys can kind of see where we're looking. Let me go back to my Facebook. Heather, there is no tornado warning for that was a weird noise. I've got a new radar that I'm using, and it's got all sorts of bells that I'm trying to get used to. It's my first live stream with it. I actually just started playing around with it today, so bear with me. We'll figure it out. Okay, that's a new severe thunderstorm warning in Ohio. So again, essentially, if you guys are just tuning in, the tornado threat for today was already going to be, it was a secondary threat. Now, I think that we may have had one earlier. We had some confirmation from spotters, which I've not. Real quick update before I finish that thought. Delaware County ham radio operator, dime-sized hail in Yorktown, and a 41-mile-per-hour gust in Yorktown. That's in Delaware County, southwest of Muncie. MASH, yes, I am. Thank you for the stars, Braden. Much appreciated. Hope the Purdue game goes well. All right, so let me go back to my thought here. So tornado was always going to be kind of the secondary threat. Wind and hail, and specifically hail, was going to be the primary concern. The caveat to that was if these storms could get out ahead of the front, and what we have now is basically we have an outflow boundary. And if these storms can kind of catch up and get on the other side of the boundary, you'll get a little bit of inflow, and that's going to help to kind of spin things up. But where it stands now, when you're talking storms here, 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 you know, even here and here, it's just, I'm circling and you guys are not even seeing. See, there's all the circles that I just made. But there's the outflow boundary that I was trying to kind of show you. If they get on the other side of that, you're going to get some of that spin, but it's just not happening right now. And so now you're in kind of colder air, and that is allowing for more of a hail threat. Okay? Let me, just because. So check this out here. So I've got the temperatures on. I know some of you may have to really squint or blow this up a little bit. But look at the temperature difference. And listen, this isn't rain-cooled air. It is 84 in Lafayette. It is 65 in Monticello. That's not very far away. Look just to the east, it's 81 in Logansport. But then you get up to Rensselaer, it's 55. So that is the actual cold front. I mean, it's digging in, essentially, right there. That's your cold front. Now, the outflow boundary is down here. And what I mean by outflow boundary is these storms, they're like a machine. They bring up winds. It's how they tower up, but then they also shoot them out, and it's outflow. Okay? And sometimes you guys will notice, especially in the summertime, on a really hot, humid day, and we've got storms coming in, you will feel kind of that cooler air before a storm comes in, right? You feel that change. That's the outflow. Sometimes the outflow can have some pretty nasty winds with it. But that's essentially what that is. Okay? So there's that. All right, let's go back to this radar. And my YouTube peeps, I appreciate you. Raul. I see you, brother. So again, I've mentioned this. I haven't streamed on YouTube in a while. I have regretfully neglected the YouTubes, but I know some of you like to watch on a bigger screen, so that offers that if you are interested. If you want to go to my YouTube channel, same stream, just a different platform. And if you have kind of a smart TV, you can stream it to your TV. So we have pea-size hail in Montgomery County. Looks like we got between dime and nickel size hail around Yorktown. We're not getting any new warnings in Indiana. The warning for Indy has been canceled. That storm really kind of just fizzled out. We still have this one for Lapel, Fortville. So that is Madison. Lapel's in Madison, Pendleton's in Madison, Fortville. They're kind of in that northwestern corner or northern part of Hancock. Notice that all of the storms that are kind of going way up north here, getting no warnings with them, okay? So vast majority of the reports we've had, basically nickel size hail, maybe quarter. We've had some wind gusts potentially up to 70. There's an unconfirmed report that we had an 80-mile-per-hour wind gust. We'll wait and see. I'm just not seeing a lot of nasty signatures, to be honest with you here. Might have some pretty good winds right now. Lapel, it's coming through town right now. Looks like they just issued a tornado warning for that storm we were talking about earlier in Ohio now. So this is... So there's Portland right here. I guess you can't see my mouse. There's Portland. There's a little bit of a hook right here. Again, this is that's the Ohio line right there, okay? Jay County right here. And then you go into, see if I can remember this, Mercer County, I think is what it is in Ohio for Coldwater and Salina. That's where I started my TV career, was in the Lima market almost 20 years ago. Stacy, it does not appear that we'll have severe weather in Columbus later tonight. Could get a little noisy if you got kiddos that wake up for storms. You might have some company overnight, but I want to kind of just out of curiosity, because things are kind of, oh yeah, that's a pretty good rotation there around Coldwater in Ohio. Again, this is Ohio. So but that was the storm that had some pretty nasty hail on it. So this is, again, it's kind of running into that outflow boundary that I was talking about earlier. Okay. All right, let me go back to the Indy radar here. You got it, Stacy. Brian, I mean, obviously I wasn't around for the Xenia, but I mean, obviously definitely one of the topics that were in my meteorology classes at Ball State. We'll continue to hang here, guys. Again, I appreciate everybody being on here. I know some of the numbers are going down a little bit. Is there a second round that will move through Putnam County? Yeah, Terry, the severity is kind of in question a little bit. I'm really thinking anybody that's kind of along and south of I-70 at this point, by the time these clusters of storms, and I mean, we're talking, let me get my little telestrator back out here. You know, all of these guys right here, and there's going to be more that's going to form way out here too. That whole line's going to, you know, sag southeast. It's going to happen probably overnight. Definitely wet. Could get it noisy. Molly says tornado sirens in Union City. Interesting. I'm not sure why, because the tornado warning technically is, I mean, you're not even included in a warning right now. So that one baffles me. Glad to hear it, Brian. Go Fast, Go Left on YouTube. What's up? Thanks for stopping by. All right, big picture. I'll turn on the composite radar. Not something I will use when we're zoomed in, because obviously you can see it's very pixelated, not high resolution. But it does show you all of the action. Illinois, it's really settling down. They may end up trimming back that severe thunderstorm watch probably pretty soon. It goes until midnight Eastern time, so Indiana time, that would be 11 o'clock Central for Illinois, northwestern Indiana too. 39-35 Purdue at the half. All right. Glad to hear it. Glad I can kind of help out a little bit. Newcastle, let me turn my high-res radar back on. We'll watch this little storm right here. It's not currently warned, but it is heading kind of toward you, so we'll see. Probably some heavy rain, might have some gusty winds with that one. But right now, we only have 2 warnings that are in the state right now. Okay. Mercedes, not right now. I'm not clearing anybody yet, but Todd, I think there's going to be some training going on for sure. So let me go back to, I know some people were on earlier since we're kind of in a, not, I won't call it a complete lull, but we just have the 2 warnings right now. But let me show you. This is the HRRR. Okay, stands for high resolution rapid refresh. Sorry, I got vacation brain going on. So I'll call out the time. So this is at 8 o'clock. Not doing a bad job. 9, 10 p.m. And I think by this point, we're probably done with our severe weather threat. You can see it's pretty ugly in Ohio. Might have like a rogue warning or 2, but for the most part, I think we're probably fine. Now, this is at 11 o'clock and then midnight. I think anytime after midnight is when, see how that sets up there? It's 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I mean, you're getting the picture. That's several hours of pretty consistent heavy rain. I would anticipate we're probably going to get some flood warnings. Now, thankfully, we have dried out from all that heavy rain we had, what was it, a few weeks ago? But 1 to 2, in extreme cases, maybe 3 inches of rainfall by the time we wake up Friday morning. So if you're in an area that is prone to flooding, just be advised of that. Okay. Robert, marble-sized hail in Muncie. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Okay, looks like we got a new update here. Severe thunderstorm warning. See it flashing. That is for most of Randolph County. Give you the 60-mile-per-hour winds and 1-inch hail. This one's moving east at 65. So this is cooking. Okay? Okay. I did not say Grant County, Brian. My pleasure, Todd. It's my pleasure. They did actually add some counties to the watch. Yes. I'd be interested to see what the thought process is on this. I haven't seen anybody post. I think the concern is there's still enough juice in the atmosphere that some family at Uh, so, from a Weather Service employee, he has a family member near Tipton. They have damage to the roof and part of their fence blown down. Now, bear in mind, there was a tornado warning in Tipton County at the time, and there were some unconfirmed reports of a tornado west of Tipton. Susan, I don't think Bloomington will be bad. I do think it will be quite soggy, and there might be some rumbles of thunder. Christina, raining hard in Winchester. Brian, I'd take some time off. Thankfully, we don't have severe weather every day, so I try to take advantage of the days that are nice, and thankfully, I've had a pretty long stretch. And I'll tell you, I mean, also working the morning show, I don't usually have to go in for severe weather coverage. We don't get a lot of severe storms during the morning show, so. Rob in Rush County on YouTube, what's up? Thanks for tagging along. You have been added to the severe thunderstorm watch. I don't believe the time has changed. Oh, we do have a new warning for, let's zoom in. Doggone it. See, this is supposed to like zoom in for me. It did not. All right, new warning. Grant County, heads up. Let me read the specs on it. Brian, that's you. I know you're still in the chat here. This is solely for hail. 1 inch hail. Okay? So 1 inch is quarter size. Doesn't look like this is a wind threat. This is solely a hang on. It's going 55. Okay. So we're going east. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Here we go. Here we go. There's some time of arrivals for you guys. I'll figure this out at some point. It's a work in progress. Gas City in 6 minutes. Upland, 12 minutes. Hartford City, 20. Montpelier, 25. So Marion's going to be right on the edge. Brian, I think you said you lived in northern Marion. You may get lucky on this one. The hail is well south of you, so there's your time of arrival there. Okay. All right. Looks like we got special weather statements coming off for some of the storms in northern Indiana. Yep. And there's kind of the big picture. Beech Grove is fine right now, Cheyenne. May have some storms a little bit later. Included in a severe thunderstorm watch until midnight. Okay, so we still got another 3.5 hours to go on that. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Bone. Appreciate the stars. Very, very kind of you. Okay. I could use this cold front. A little toasty in the house right now. All right, so here was the okay, so this is in Tipton County. They're calling it 1 mile east-southeast of Goldsmith. Damage to what appears to be a pole barn and trees down on Division Road, including one on a road. That happened at 7:18. Okay, so here are the warnings that we currently have here, gang. I've got Wayne, Randolph, Grant, Blackford, Western J. That's it. Those are the only warnings that I have in the state right now. East Central Indiana, okay? You got it, Bone. I appreciate you, brother. All right. Again, we are on streaming not only on Facebook but on YouTube. We started our AC just to turn on the heat in the morning. Susan, that is why I held strong. I had my daughter give me the puppy dog eyes, said she was hot. And I said, but you won't be in like 5 hours. Let me check up on this here. I done anything with the watch? No weird updates. And some of the probabilities. This is some of the new radar that I'm using for my home. This is, obviously I still have everything that I do at Wish TV, but kind of gives the probability of severe hail events, severe wind events. Tornado is very low. It's like a 20% chance, 10% for a strong tornado. So it's got a lot of neat features that we'll enjoy using once I kind of not thrilled about the radar color table. I don't really like the colors of the watches. I just think it's kind of bleeds, but I think it's going to be a good Clay County right now is fine, but you are under a watch until midnight. But for Clay County, you may see some of those storms kind of getting closer to you around 11 o'clock, maybe midnight or whatever. Jacqueline, it's my pleasure. Thank you for your time. As I often say, there are many things that you can be scrolling on social medias right now, and I appreciate that you're watching the bald guy. It is appreciated. All right. So again, we're just kind of sitting and watching for these warnings right now. Marion's about in the clear for. It's going through the south end of town. Gas City's getting hit hard. What is that? That's State Road 18? I think that's right. See, that's another thing. I need to get my... All I know is that's the exit to take to get to Ivanhoe's. All right, Mash. I'll look into it. Thanks, man. Is Marion County okay for tornadoes? Pretty much. Is there always a slim chance? Yes, but I'm not overly concerned about tornadoes. Thank you, Susan. That is very kind for you to say. So there's a lot of alerts that you hear going on. Those are actually for Ohio. So a lot of the storms, thankfully, are weakening. Okay, they did just issue a new severe thunderstorm warning. You see that flashing right there. This is, we'll give you the info on this one here. Maybe. Maybe not. There we go. This is a hailer solely 1 inch, so that is quarter size hail, but the winds, and I say it's still going to be pretty windy, but below severe weather limits, okay? So this is including Fountain, Clinton, Boone, Montgomery, okay? So Crawfordsville, Petersburg, Thorntown, Waynetown, Darlington, Linden, Colfax, Hillsborough, Advance, New Richmond, Wingate, Newtown, and Mellot. Say that right? I don't think I've ever seen that pop up in my map. What was the speed on that? Grief. $60. Okay. So let's go ahead and we will throw a storm track on this bad boy. Let me edit. 60 mile per hour. Jeez. Okay. So we're just putting a storm track on this. So there's your time of arrival. Thorntown 8:58. What time is it? 8:34. So Thorntown at 8:58. Lebanon at 9:06. Susan, yeah, it'll probably be around or after midnight. MASH, I can only imagine. Which, good point. Give me one moment. I am curious. So this is from poweroutage.us. Right now there's 9,500 without power in the state, most of which are in Fountain County, which that's the yellow county here if you're not familiar with all your county names. Just shy of 3,000 customers without power there. Okay, Wabash is next. Clinton is following that. So there's Clinton County. There's Pulaski County. There's Wabash. There's Park. So those are the ones that are oh. So those are all the power outages that we have right there. Georgie, good to see you in chat, man. We do not currently have any twisting motions right now. We did earlier, like around Tipton County, it was twisting a little bit, but not currently. All right, so quick reset. That is not a new warning for Indiana. So we've got three warnings right now in Indiana. Randolph and Wayne, Grant, Blackford, and Jay. And Upland, you are now kind of getting through the worst of the storms. And Hartford City is next in line. Looks like they are maybe downgrading that a little bit because they now have a special weather statement on that. That's essentially a step below a warning. Okay. I could put the... So they're saying 3/4 size hail. So that would be just shy of severe weather limits. Thanks for checking in, Angie. Downpour. That looks like it's cleared your area too, so that's good news. Sure, there's like a clear all button. Gotta be. It's maddening. Surely there's a better way to take those off. Anyway, all right, so Gas City, you're in the clear. Oh boy. Brian, good talking with you, my friend. Good luck with the roof. We'll be praying for you, man. That's not a good situation. Shauna, Bloomington is Bloomington's got to wait for a while. And technically Bloomington's not even included in the watch. So definitely some rain and storms overnight, but Noblesville. You got a couple storms heading your way. We're watching this one here that's near Crawfordsville. And it's got some signatures of some hail. Looks like just north of Emdale. Yeah, I need to get some like better logos. This is a good radar. If I could just, I need to get like some of these files and stuff on here. So that's Emdale. This is in Montgomery County, northwest Montgomery County. Down here is Interstate 74. So Cherry Grove next in line. There's probably a little bit of hail here, okay? Starting to see a little new formation here. We'll have to watch. I mean, Indianapolis is basically an untapped atmosphere. We haven't had anything in the city. So, hey, Lori, my pleasure. So just to like kind of put it in perspective for everybody, let me turn off some of the cities and the noise here. It is much more active to our east. I'm actually kind of shocked that there's still watches out in Illinois. I guess we're kind of waiting for the front to move through, but there has really been nothing as of late in Illinois. We've got 2 warnings in our state right now, both one in the east, one in the west, and then they've got several in Ohio. Ohio seems to be kind of the focal point. Let me take you back. Again, this was the outlook for the day today. Okay, level 3 out of 5 risk. Again, and you break it down, the wind factor there highlighted. Basically in the areas that have been, you know, getting a lot of the warnings. I mean, none of this is really too surprising. This was the hail threat. And then lastly, the tornado threat, which was not 0, but on the lower end. Curtis! Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. Lawrence, you may get a few storms. Let me turn on my cities here again. Watching this one, right, this is a non-severe storm currently that's kind of going through the northern edge of Zionsville. Carmel's next in line, Westfield. We're going to have some heavy rain. Looks like we got a lightning strike just recently within the last 5 minutes. That's that plus sign right there. So it looks like a pretty good hail core here. Let's do another storm track on this, shall we? Again, this is going about 60 if it holds together. So here's your time of arrival here. Darlington at 8:50, so that's about 7 minutes from now. Colfax at 8:56, Thorntown 8:58. Hazelrig at 9:01. Kirkland at 9:11, Sheridan at 9:19. Lauren! Good to see you. All right. Again, if you're new to the stream, I am also streaming on YouTube. I believe you just search Marcus Bailey or Marcus Bailey Weather. It's there. If you're more of a YouTube person and not Facebook. I heard it's nice this time of year, Georgie. Misty, I'm in Lynn, Randolph County. Got lots of lightning hitting the ground hard. Thank you for the report. Should be better now. It looks like all the nasty stuff is out of your area. Let's see. We just got from emergency management in Montgomery County. Getting pea-sized hail. The Weather Service basically is kind of, it's, I think we've kind of gone to this hail. MASH, I haven't really, I haven't really played around with it that much. Hang on, hang on. Okay, so I'm seeing some of the pictures from northern Indiana. Not seeing a lot of chatter about. There's been some damage from La Fontaine. Got a report of a tree down in Logansport. That's about it, though. So really the one that we're watching right now, gang, is this. I'm not super impressed. I mean, that one's going to be a little bit behind. Let me go, let's do this. Let's go back to my other radar. And we'll go into that storm. So some of the kind of the pinks that you see there, that's going to be your higher reflectivity. It could just be nothing more than heavy rain. I mean, it's pretty, for this time of year, muggy. There's a lot of moisture in the air. So, but this is kind of looking inside the storm and would indicate if there is maybe some hail in the storm. That tells me, and it did just kind of tick up a little bit. So this could potentially be outputting maybe some pea-sized hail. And we've already had some reports with this storm doing that. So, but that's really the only, that's it. You know, it's everything else in here is just kind of a muddy mess. I have no merch. Maybe I need to get like a public person to get some merch. Okay. What else? What else? What else? Well, Brian, I'm not trying to dog on anybody, but a Facebook news channel can't confirm a tornado touchdown. Only the National Weather Service can do that. So that wouldn't happen until tomorrow. Not saying that it didn't happen. And I did see the pictures. Looked like it was a pole barn. Those can be damaged pretty quickly with strong wind gusts. So pouring in Peru. Looks like it. Looks like it. Okay, so Darlington would be getting kind of the hail right now. Let's go back. So there's Darlington. This is in Montgomery County. There's Crawfordsville by my ugly mug there. Again, this is moving east. Frankfort, heavy rain. Kokomo, heavy rain. Rushville, soon. A couple of good lightning strikes right now between Carmel and Noblesville. We'll zoom in. I mean, you're getting into a pretty heavily populated area here, but again, this isn't severe. And honestly, some welcome rain. I know we got a little bit last night. Oh, Brian, you don't need to apologize, bud. There's a lot of misinformation that gets thrown out on the socials. So sometimes there's situations where it's obvious, and if somebody had a visual of a tornado actually doing the damage, you could honestly say, like, you think about what happened in Kankakee a couple weeks ago in northwestern Indiana. That was a no-brainer. We knew exactly what happened. But considering there was no warning, not saying that, I mean, obviously there's some storms that make it through that don't get a warning, but we'll just wait and see. Eliana, yeah. I mean, we're under a watch. It's not a high-end threat. I want to put caution to the wind, but it's not crazy high, okay? We had some crazy wind and lightning north of Hagerstown, and now it's super calm. Surely we're not out of the woods. Not technically. I mean, look, we still have, what time is it? It's almost 9 o'clock. We still have 3 hours left of this watch. I do think we still have the ingredients in for some severe storms. Do I think this is going to be widespread? Like, no. Do I think I'm going to be streaming or I'm going to need to stream until midnight? I don't think so. But that said, I mean, any of these cells that are going right now could be severe. The problem is that we're dealing with is all of these storms here, all of these currently, they're going over areas that have already been hit by storms. So without diving too deep into some advanced meteorology, essentially when a storm kind of fires through, it sucks up all the energy. Okay? And so there's not usually time for recovery. If you had a storm roll over Marion, say, that was pretty rough, it's going to be tough for the next one that's happening right now to become equally as strong. It can happen, but not typically in situations that we have right now. Okay? So basically, we're in an atmosphere where we're getting these clusters of storms where the atmosphere is already worked over, essentially. You go down south, where has it not been touched? The air is like primed and ready to go. Here. But you don't have the triggering mechanism yet to get the storms to fire. Because this whole line, while all of these are moving very rapidly to the east at around 50 to 60, this line is going like at a walking pace moving south. That's where the problem is. And that's basically going to be how the rest of the night goes. Because we have this line here And by 4 o'clock in the morning, the line's only going to be here, right? So you're not getting a whole lot of movement there. Hopefully that makes sense. Correct. Rachel, yes. We have all the taco ingredients, but we do not have the taco meat, which is the most important part. So it's probably going to hover over us from Greenwood to Blue. Eliana, yes. I think you want to talk about that far south. I mean, it still could be another couple out, at least a couple hours, at least, probably even later, like after midnight. And here's the deal. We get after midnight, I think our severe weather threat's done. Okay. Looks like they did extend the tornado watch to include Wayne, Fayette, and Union. That must have happened just recently. Okay. Let me go back to the Indy Weather Service chat, see if they're saying anything new. Darlington, which I said that was an area I was kind of focusing in on for hail, smaller than pea size. That comes from a Skywarn weather spotter. There's sirens over in Union City, Ohio. Would you say they're in the clear? So I'm assuming, if I remember correctly, it's been a long time since I've been to Union City, but Union City, Ohio is connected with Union City, Indiana. Is that correct? Am I wrong in thinking that? They technically have yeah, there it is. So technically, well, I guess they are in a severe thunderstorm warning. So I don't know what the protocol is for Union City, Indiana, or Ohio. But they are under a tornado watch, but they're under a severe thunderstorm warning. So it could be one of those silly things where emergency managers sound the siren. And I know that every municipality is a little bit different, but they sound the siren if there's a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado watch. So yeah, I mean, but there is no. Oh, College Corner, yes. What's the update on the Purdue game? I'm ashamed that I didn't bring should have brought my iPad in to watch it. So here's the deal, gang. I'll stick around for a little bit, but essentially, we are warning free. We still have this one technically in Wayne County, but the severe part of the storm has moved east. Crystal, they will start pushing south, but I think by the time they get to you, we probably lose 65, 64. Yeesh. Dang. Thank you. Appreciate the update. 7 minutes left. I guess I can. Oh, hey. I could probably put it on my phone here. What channel is that on? You notice that it's been very quiet too. Like I have not had any warnings. Fire. Thank you, Rick. I got it. Probably should turn that down because then I'll get like some violation, I'm sure, on YouTube or Facebook, whatever. So I got the game on now, though. We're good. Oh, that is not for us. And that actually may have been the cancellation of the only warning we had in our state. So we are warning free. I will stick around for a few minutes just because there's still quite a few of you on here, and I greatly appreciate it. Again, I am on Facebook Live and YouTube. I'll try to answer any of your questions. Let me go. A lot of you are asking what's going to happen during the overnight hours, so let me just kind of walk you through that here. So, I'm not going to use that one. We'll use this one. All right. So I'm going to show you a forecasted model run. Okay. So all right, so this is at 9 o'clock. It's not bad. This is at 10. This is at 11. And then at midnight. Now, I want you to know, obviously, you got another round of showers and storms coming in here. This is at midnight, what I'm showing you, okay? We don't anticipate, once we get to this point, that this will be severe. This will be chilly rain. Cold front's already through. In fact, since we have time, see, look at that. That's the forecasted temperature at midnight. Bloomington's at 74. We're at 57 in Indy, 50 in Kokomo. Look at Gary at 36. Terrible. So chilly, chilly rain, okay? Midnight. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4, 5, 6. Might be a little soggy if you are an early traveler for work tomorrow morning. 7 o'clock, 8, 9. Probably won't clear the rain out of the state until around 10 or 11. Okay? So, with that being said, I know a lot of you ask, well, is the severe weather done? I mean, the watch is up until midnight for a reason. I do think that as we get later into the evening, our severe weather threat will continue to diminish. But we're not done quite yet, okay? But it is going to be a noisy overnight. I do want to stress that. Well, now that I'm invested in this game, I might just stick around on here. Elizabeth, right now, Wayne County is in the clear, but you are under the tornado watch for another 2 hours. Okay? So that goes until 11. So I may just sit here and watch radar and watch the game with you guys. That was a tough shot. Mm. Georgie, don't even start. We're not. No. Nope. Some of the storms up around Fort Wayne are kind of looking healthy. Probably some pretty good winds with that there. Oh, yeah. It's not terrible. What we got here? Well, that's not what I want. But probably some pretty good winds right here from Huntington to Andrews to Roanoke. So that's up by Fort Wayne. I'm just trying to find stuff to focus on. But no warnings with that currently. Marion, some pretty heavy rain right now. I mean, India's just remained dry this whole time. I live on the south end of the metro, nothing. That is a new warning for not Indiana. Gatlinburg. They're probably going to get this line that we're currently dealing with, but it doesn't look like it was going to be severe for the south. But might be a little bit damp by mid to we'll call it afternoon, evening for Middle Tennessee. Uh-oh, Chris, you're gonna start something here. I can't say anything, Chris, because I'm a Ball State alum, and the last time the Ball State even made it to the tournament, I was still in high school, and that sadly gets longer than moving through the state slower than the last few we had. What causes that difference? Forcing mechanism, essentially, Bone, like if there was a stronger ridge, I mean, look, there's a good pull of cold air that's coming in with this, but it's not as strong as some of the other ones that we've had that would push, because all a cold front is it's a separation between a warm air mass, which we are still on the warm side of, obviously, and the cold air mass, which we will definitely notice, 4 or 5 hours from now. That cold air is just not wedging in as quickly as some of the other ones that we've had in the past. Georgie, no. Bonzi, that would have been after Bonzi. Is that right? Well, now, wait a minute. Yeah, I think Bonzi had already graduated. I think he graduated like a year or two before I graduated high school. Do you think Brownsburg, Avon will get hit hard? Jacqueline, I don't think hard is probably the right term. Oh, I guess I could bring this up. So we do have a special weather statement. So that, again, if you're new, that is a kind of step below that's a step below a severe thunderstorm warning, essentially. This is, well, you can read it with me. Up to 40 mile per hour winds and quarter size hail. So it's all below severe limits, but it's noteworthy. All right, still could be kind of a nuisance. Could knock down some tree limbs. Could blow around some unsecured things on your patio. That kind of stuff. Basically includes most of the northern half of the metro. It does extend all the way down to Beech Grove and even down into Franklin Township. It does not extend down into Johnson County, so Greenwood technically not included in that, okay? Oh, that was weird. Okay. I won't do that. So my thinking is we're probably going to get a little bit of a lull once these storms here, this whole line, once this moves into Ohio. We'll get some more development out of this here, but my initial thinking is those will probably be below severe limits. Jacqueline, I totally understand. I know a lot of people struggle with that. That's why I'm here. Westdale is the only school that a guy like me could have played defensive end. One. In Golf Star, I don't... also not that. I do love to golf, though. And regrettably, I've been off all week, and I have not been out to the course one time this week. So you're welcome, Jacqueline. That's why we're here. That's why I'm sticking around. Can't guarantee I'm not going to be up all overnight. But I can tell you that there won't be anything to worry about. With any storms that roll through after midnight, might get a little noisy, but more bark than bite. Still several warnings out for Ohio. And this Purdue-Texas game it's going to come right down to the end, isn't it? Thank you guys for all the likes. Appreciate it. It really does help a lot. Facebook is so weird with like the algorithm and whatnot, so it really helps. You got it, Mash. Hey, thanks for contributing, stopping by. Thanks for the advice. I'll check out some of the stuff on Radar Omega. So I like what I see so far, but I mean, this is all kind of just stock stuff. I haven't really had a chance to really customize it much. Carlos, tomorrow are you going to work? No. Carlos, I'm off all week, so this has actually been a vacation week for me. It's spring break. We did kind of a mini trip for a wedding in Virginia over the weekend. So we've been just kind of hanging out at home all week with the kids. My wife's been off too, so it's been nice. But, you know, I've been away, so we got a, pseudo-severe weather risk tonight, and I got the itch, and here we are. Here we are. But I do not have to get up at 2 o'clock in the morning. No. I keep forgetting to check in on my YouTube friends. I haven't seen anybody message. I had a Raul from Puerto Rico that wrote me a lot of messages, but all in Espanol, which I do not speak. So I will have to Google Translate that later. Let's do this for fun. I'm going to turn the METAR sights back on. How are we doing temperature-wise? So we're still, is that right? Is it still 82 at 9 o'clock? Man, oh man. Like, some of these can't be right. There's no way. There's no way it's still 90. Okay. Hold up. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Let's see. I'll be darned. St. Louis is at 88 degrees right now. That is wild. I mean, I know it's like 8 o'clock, but that's crazy. This late in the evening, 73 where you're at. Richard, thanks for jumping on. Bloomington's probably got a little while, Richard. I don't really think you're going to get anything super nasty. But some heavy rain, a few thunderstorms, but should say non-severe, okay? 74 in Hagerstown. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that's really warm for this time of year. But to that point, notice, look at all the 50s, the 40s. 48 right now near Gary, 43 Michigan City. I mean, it's getting chilly. Chicago, so that's near O'Hare's at 50. That's O'Hare right there, 50. 49 when you get up into the northern suburbs. Waukegan's at 47. It's coming. But, again, that line is so slow to kind of sag down to the south. And basically, you've had these storms, if you're just joining, it's kind of going over the same areas over and over and over again, so the atmosphere is already worked over. If you wanted to see more warnings, we'd have to see kind of this line come down here or more. It's just not doing it. Okay, so next item of interest. I don't know if I'm going to stay on for this one. Let me turn these off. Let me turn on the composite radar. So what we are interested in now, since these are, I don't think these are going to turn severe. They've got maybe some pea-sized hail, but I don't think you're going to get anything crazier. This is the area that we're kind of watching right now. I think there's a low-end threat that we could get some marginally severe hail. What do I mean by that? That is possibly up to quarter-size hail. So that is going east. It is probably going to be here. What time is it? 9:18. Probably after or around midnight, maybe a little bit before. So Caleb, Upland. Yeah, I mean, you've got like a... Nope, that's terrible. Sorry. So you've got like another good little downpour coming your way. There's not even any lightning with it, though. So all good there. Well, just kidding. There is one lightning strike. It just took a second. 2 lightning strikes over the last 5 minutes or so. So 67 in Pendleton. So that cooler air is coming in, right? Close game. Britt, I don't want to go out on that completely. But I don't expect that. I think that window of getting more action is quickly closing. Okay. All right, so just again, a refresh. We've got 2 special weather statements, which again are just below ping pong ball. Was there really ping pong ball size hail in Muncie? I did not see a report with that. All right. We'll probably hang through the end of the Purdue game here, and then I might call it. Just because I really don't see any more severe weather. Like, for me, like, I'm not going to hang around for another 2 hours and wait for this one in Illinois to come through. I'll update on my computer. Skylar, just out of curiosity, what side of Muncie are you on? Okay. I'll have to look back at radar. I do remember that there was a pretty strong storm. Oh, all right. Well, there is a new warning. You guys see it flashing. So that's in Illinois. That looks like a good little hailer right there. Flip it over to the, well, of course it does because we were on the wrong radar. South of Decatur. It still got some good. Here's the deal, though. Like, it will drift into a hail event for any storm that does get strong enough, okay? No hail like that for us. Okay, so north end of Delaware County didn't seem to get anything. So it seemed to be the south end of Delaware County that had the hail. Under a minute. I just saw Chris. I'm watching on my phone. I saw Braden Smith's tough take to the basket. All right. We will wait it out till the end of this game here, and then I'm probably going to call it. And then I'll kind of update here and there on socials for the rest of the evening. But I want to thank you guys all for jumping on. Oh boy. You got it, Melinda. Good to see you. Happy to do it. All right, so a lot of that you hear, you see all the flashing. Those are just an update to the severe thunderstorm. Man, Iowa beat Nebraska. Dang. So that's just an update to the tornado watch that's going on in Ohio. Again, really the only thing of interest, because these are just your garden variety thunderstorms. They're not severe. They're not going to become severe. Really, we're just kind of watching and waiting what's going to happen in Illinois. It's going to come down to free throws, isn't it? Yeah, this one's winding down, which is not a bad thing. Carlos, good night to you, my friend. Thanks for stopping by. Big free throws. Are they going to try to take a three here? Nope. Why would they foul there? Why would they do that? Tamia, I am glad to hear that. I'm happy that I can be of some assistance. This one's really just kind of dying out. I tell you what, I have not had a drop. All of this action, nothing. I've had 0.00 inches of rainfall at my house. And I could use a little bit because I had to do a little patchwork on my lawn, and I put some grass seed down. Not good. We'll get some more tonight, though. Yep, so we are just going to play the waiting game with this bad boy here. Nope, it's not what I wanted to do at all. It's going to show the progress of some of these storms out here. A lot of lightning north of Hancock County. Yes, indeed. There is, you got a pretty good... Let me just do an update to the watch. Let's see. Thunderstorm blue pine tree over in Tipton. Healthy pine tree over in... Nope, no update. No update. Wow. What a game. What a game. Whew. TKR with the save. All right. Congrats, Boilers fans. You can rest easy. What a putback. Unbelievable. Wow. What a putback. All right, gang. That's going to conclude my severe weather coverage for tonight. Boiler up for all you Purdue fans. I do think we're going to have more storms. I won't say we're completely out of the woods. But anything that does turn severe is going to be marginal. No tornado threat overnight. You could have some hail, quarter size, and very low end threat for damaging wind gusts, but I'm not overly concerned. So that's why I'm going to jump off here. Okay. So thank you all. Appreciate you. Thanks for the likes, the shares, the comments, all that, the participation. You guys are awesome. And always appreciate you guys. So I'm going to go cool off because the cold front has not moved through my neighborhood. And I am anti turning the air conditioning on, especially when it's going to be like 40 when I wake up tomorrow morning. All right. You guys are awesome. We will talk soon. God bless. We'll see you.